Welcome back everyone, it's Charlie. This is going to be my new Marvel Wolverine video and Weapons Plus breakdown. I got a couple requests to do videos about new Wolverine stuff happening in the MCU. The director of the Logan movie was even talking about some interesting Hugh Jackman future Wolverine stuff that I'll break down. And we got a bunch of good news about what's happening in the second half of the year with all the big Marvel Disney Plus series and the movies. So if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. We'll do a new Amazon giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and let me know what you want them to do with the new version of Wolverine inside the MCU. So just going down the list, starting with number 5, we'll start with the good news because everybody needs as much good news as possible right now. Marvel revealed that all the previously announced Avengers Disney Plus series episodes will be released this year. That means Falcon and Winter Soldier and Wandavision episodes all before the end of the year. This is also important for mutants, MCU, and Wolverine stuff that I'll explain in a second too, but it's just good news to hear that there won't be more delays. There was a big question about when they were actually going to drop episodes. Just a couple days ago, the official Disney Plus Twitter account was responding to a random user about an unrelated question and said the Falcon and Winter Soldier will drop in the fall. That means sometime starting in September or October, just because that's when the fall starts. Originally, it was supposed to release at the end of the summer. That was in August, so it's not a big deal, just delayed a couple weeks. I think we can handle that. Just happy that we're getting it and we don't have to wait till next year. That series is going to be laying a lot of track work for the Weapons Plus program, Weapon X, and Wolverine down the road that I'll explain in a second. All the WandaVision episodes are still coming out in December. It hasn't been delayed at all. It was always coming out in December. They're actually further ahead in production on WandaVision than they are on Falcon and Winter Soldier, even though they shot Falcon and Winter Soldier first. There'll be more trailers for both of those series later this summer, so just stay tuned for that. But number 4, even better, the big MCU Marvel Wolverine stuff recently is mostly about Wolverine deleted scenes in Marvel movies and the Weapons Plus Super Soldier program that they're bringing back for storylines in new movies and Disney Plus series. Since Marvel has gotten the rights to the X-Men characters back, we've actually found out about a lot of original deleted scenes from older Marvel movies that they had planned with those X-Men characters. A while ago, Kevin Feige revealed that there was a Wolverine deleted scene in the first Captain America movie. Not in the way you'd expect, but still very cool. Originally, it was supposed to happen when Captain America was going to save Bucky and the Howling Commandos. He was going to find that Red Skull had also captured a much younger version of Wolverine in Magneto. This version of Wolverine wouldn't have his adamantium skeleton yet because he would not have gone through the Weapon X program, but he was born with his healing factor. That's how he was able to be born in the late 1800s, then fight in the American Civil War, World War I, and obviously because we're talking about Captain America deleted scenes, World War II. Magneto would have been a child at the time, so his powers would have barely manifested, so he wouldn't have been much of a threat to Red Skull. Number 3, the reason why this wound up being a deleted scene, they had to cut it out of the movie, was because Fox would not agree to let them use the characters at the time. Because when they were making the movie around that same time, Fox was making X-Men Wolverine Origins, which was middle-era Hugh Jackman Wolverine. But now that Marvel controls all the characters again, it's very easy for them to retcon that detail back into MCU history, Spider-Man style. That's just a reference to the younger version of Spider-Man, Peter Parker, in Iron Man 2. When Iron Man 2 was filmed, Jon Favreau said this little kid under the mask was played by his son in real life, and it was just a random kid who loved Iron Man. But when Tom Holland and Kevin Feige were doing press for Spider-Man Homecoming a couple years ago, during an interview, Tom Holland said, "Wouldn't it be cool if that little kid was Peter Parker?" Providing even deeper connections between the Iron Man and Spider-Man characters. Kevin Feige liked the idea so much that he declared it canon, even though technically it wasn't filmed to be that way. So it's no different with MCU Wolverine. He's been here this whole time, you just didn't see him because he was trying to fly under the radar so no one would find out he was a mutant. Mutants in the MCU is something we'll hear more about during Marvel Phase 4 through the WandaVision series and then the Marvel Eternals movie, but the leading theory is the hidden amongst us theory, that there have always been mutants around. They've just been few in number and have managed to fly mostly under the radar until after the events of Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame, and the cosmic energy released by each of the snaps just created events that triggered a lot of people's X genes. And that's why by the time we get to Marvel Phase 5, we'll start to see more mutants popping up around the world.
When Thanos snapped his fingers, Earth became ground zero for a power surge of ridiculously cosmic proportions. No one's ever seen anything like it.
But number 2, in the short term, Marvel is bringing the Weapons Plus program back on the road to eventually doing Weapon X through Falcon and Winter Soldier. So Weapons Plus is basically the overarching name for the Super Soldier program. Different super soldiers through history that the military has experimented on. There have been over 15 of them, including Captain America, Deadpool, and Wolverine, but more recently with Weapon H, which is basically a version of the Hulk with an adamantium skeleton. So starting at the beginning, there was actually a precursor called Weapon 0 for Project Rebirth. Weapon 1 is technically Captain America. That is Project Rebirth, as you saw during the first Captain America movie. But before Captain America, there was a soldier called John Steele from World War I that Erskine and Red Skull experimented on as they were trying to create Project Rebirth. Weapon 2 was just a bunch of animals that they experimented on. Weapon 3 was a character named Harry Pizer that was a mutant with elastic multi-sensory skin. Weapon 4 was something that would eventually lead to the creation of Man-Thing. Weapon 5 was sort of an offshoot of the symbiote program, them trying to use a symbiote to create a super soldier. Later in present day, they would use that program to create Agent Venom. Weapon 6 was Luke Cage. Weapon 7 was Nuke. Obviously, we saw both of those characters during the Luke Cage series. Weapon 8 was just a bunch of criminals and psychopaths that they experimented on. Weapon 9 was actually originally supposed to be Deadpool, according to Rob Liefeld, Wade Wilson, but then later Marvel changed some things and it wound up being Typhoid Mary. Weapon 10 is obviously Weapon X, Wolverine. According to Rob Liefeld, Weapon 11 was supposed to be Garrison Kane. Weapon 12 was Huntsman. Weapon 13 was Phantom X. Weapon 14 were the Stepford Cuckoos. We saw a version of them during Marvel's X-Men Gifted series. Weapon 15 was Ultimatum, part of this big Super Sentinels program. Weapon 16 is actually a character called All God, a literal living religion, which sounds pretty crazy, and it is. The next program after that was just called Weapon Infinity. It's Project Deathlock, if you remember the Deathlock character. Then Weapon H more recently is the version of the Hulk that got an adamantium skeleton, but his name in real life is Clayton Cortez. They harvested DNA from Amadeus Cho's version of the Hulk and the Old Man Logan version of Wolverine, then bonded the adamantium to his skeleton. And I know you're all asking about the regular Bruce Banner version of the Hulk because technically Thunderbolt Ross within the MCU's version of Weapons Plus said that Banner was working on the Super Soldier Weapons Plus program. So because his gamma research was a big part of that about activating people's powers and he got his gamma powers, does that make the Hulk one of the weapons? Technically it doesn't, but you could consider him part of the Weapons Plus program. And then you have the Winter Soldier, which is sort of like an offshoot because that all came from the Captain America Super Soldier program. Then if you wanted to, you could also include the Winter Soldiers that Hydra created using Captain America's blood that was stolen by Winter Soldier from Howard Stark during that intro in Captain America Civil War. There's also Red Guardian during the Black Widow movie that we're going to see later this year, because he was basically an offshoot of the Captain America program done by the Russians. Not by Hydra, but by the Russians. So number one, you're all asking, what does this have to do with the MCU Marvel version of Wolverine that they're going to debut in a couple years, and what about Hugh Jackman's Wolverine? How does this all tie together? Because recently the director of Logan did say that yes, he killed the Wolverine character, and that was a big conversation with Fox when they were making the movie. But while that was intended to be a bookend for his character, and while Hugh Jackman has made it pretty clear that he's not going to come running back to play the MCU version of Wolverine in all the brand new Marvel movies, he's not completely opposed to ever doing anything with the Logan character again. The way the director of the Logan movie talked about it, he said as long as there was a compelling story, that would probably be enough to get them back on board for some Hugh Jackman Wolverine stuff. But whatever form that would take just remains to be seen, because it would have to be the best script you'd ever read in your entire life. The whole idea of the new MCU version of Wolverine is that it's as comic book authentic as possible. Even though the Marvel movies change a lot of things, they have everything they need to do an authentic Weapon X Wolverine backstory. So everybody let me know in the comments, how do you want them to do Weapon X Wolverine stuff in the MCU? Obviously it's not going to happen for a long time, but they're all laying that track work right now. We'll start to see that during the Falcon and Winter Soldier episodes later this year, which thankfully we'll get to watch before the end of the year. But if you have any big requests for new Marvel, X-Men, or related videos, just let me know in the comments below, and I'll name a new giveaway winner when I post my next Marvel video. Everyone click here to learn about the new MCU Ghost Rider project that's happening, and click here to learn about what's going on with the Justice League Snyder Cut in that teaser trailer. Thank you so much for watching. Everyone stay safe. I'll see you guys tonight.